I find it very ironic that I got a technical foul for telling a Caucasian referee not to put his hand in my face.
Draymond ends up picking up his 10th technical of the season, now tied with Isaiah Stewart for the third most.
Oh my God! If you're the only white guy, period, and a black man moves toward you, yelling at you, right, and gets in your space, this is the equivalent to 12 years a slave? Do I have that right? All right.
Draymond.
NBA player Draymond Green.
There we go.
I don't know if you know this. The NBA is a bastion of white supremacy.
It is.
We're trying. All you can do is recognize your mistakes and try and do better. And the NBA is trying to do better as of late and being more inclusive of the blacks. I guess they're not doing a bang-up job because Draymond decided to go to the press and cry racism based on a technical foul, and I guess the referee was one of those guys from Roots. And well, then we have the clip, and you be the judge.
I will tell you, though, I find it very ironic that I got a technical foul for telling a Caucasian referee not to put his hand in my face. As a black man in America, don't put your hand in my face. And I said, hey,
oh boy,
don't put your hand in my face.
Okay, new rule for black people. Can't be close to their face.
That was the most interesting thing of the night.
Or their hair.
Razor bumps. I get it.
He said, Draymond, this is your chance to stop talking to me, bro. Don't put your hand in my face. Oh, tech. Oh, okay. So.
Happens everywhere.
Everybody want to talk about holding the line of respect. That line need to be held both ways.
Who's talking about that?
So, if the line won't be held both ways, then the line won't be held from my way either, because we all men. Right. We all can make decisions and choices. So, well, let that be the last time.
Well, I wouldn't expect my Golden State Warrior to be able to put up with a hand slightly near to his face. But maybe you could just kind of take the stop signal that we learn about as kids and go cry into your $25 million a year. Or let's look at the tail of the tape, because see what happens there is he goes, he did it, and so then if that's going to happen, then you can't expect me to be respectful and civil. You can't expect me to act like everyone else in a civilized society. And remember, I've told you, if there was a video that existed of random black guy being completely respectful, hands at 10 and 2, getting the crap kicked out of him for no reason, right, from a cop, you'd see it. Same thing with these protesters. If there was an example that wasn't Renee Good hitting a cop with a car, or Alex Preddy kicking out a taillight and screaming and revealing his gun, if there was any, then you wouldn't have people like Trayvon Martin, violent criminal, Michael Brown, hands up, don't shoot. His hands weren't up. He was trying to beat a cop and take his gun. You wouldn't have these people as their martyrs. Still haven't had anyone send one in. Same thing here. Tell me if this is an example of someone behaving in the way that they are expected to behave as a professional and being wronged. Because I would be willing to bet that if that took place, you probably would hear about that one. Instead, you watch this.
Foul called on Stewart.
This is him holding the line of respect.
Draymond ends up picking up his 10th technical of the season, now tied with Isaiah Stewart for the third most.
Oh my God!
It takes him a while, and then he's had enough, and then he gets a tea.
So let me get this straight. If you're the only white guy, period, and a black man moves toward you, yelling at you, right, and gets in your space, this is the equivalent to 12 years a slave? Do I have that right? By the way, that is the most demure, passive, respectful way you can actually try and establish a boundary for your space, right? It wasn't a shove. It wasn't even, don't get up in my face. It wasn't even, hey, back off. It was literally like he found a way to curve inward into his own body, like his white guilt was just sort of pouring out of him. Like, could you please not be a barbarian?
That's not what he said. We don't have the audio. He could have very well have said, back of the bus.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
He could have very well said, Get your kids out of my school.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we'll know after his 10th technical foul of the season, now
Yeah,
he's going to
true.
start being disrespectful.
Right.
Oh, that was his
now.
10th of the season?
For the
what it
season,
said,
yeah.
yeah.
He collects them.
Well,
Like Infinity Stones. He's got a fistful of technicals.
like racist stamps.
Were they all ironic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
every one of
racist,
them.
for sure.
That's him holding the line of respect, by the way. When he said, I won't hold it on mine if you don't hold it on your end. That's his line. His 10th technical foul. That's him being respectful all season long.
Racism is, I'm sorry, it's done. It's done where now this is going, like I said, it's going to breed more racism because people are going to look at that and go, wait a second, your career earnings like $220-something million, okay? This was your 10th technical foul. You walked up to the ref. You were yelling. He is well within his authority to make a call, and he kind of turned away from you and did this, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's justification for animalistic, uncivilized behavior. You want to say, oh, what, you're using the angry black man trope? That's what I saw. I saw white guy behaving. I saw black guy acting like a child and then justifying it and threatening you with more childish, boorish behavior. That's what I saw.
And it's not like this is out of the ordinary. You said it's his 10th technical. How far into the NBA season are we right now? Like halfway?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Because it's an 82 game season. If you're halfway through the season, which by the way is the length of a full WNBA season, is half of an NBA season, but they want the full pay. If you're 41 games in and you have 10 technicals, that's 25% of your games you get a technical foul, and you're Mr. Respect. What, dude?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, look, if you're going to go out and act this way, it's going to rub people the wrong way, Draymond. If you are offended by everything but ashamed of nothing as it relates to your own behavior. You can't be perpetually offended at everyone else's civil behavior while you act like an animal. Are you saying all black people are animals? No, I'm not. I'm saying that in that case, he is violating every unwritten rule of decorum. And you know what? Those refs... Yes, some actually written. Some actually written.
Yes. But it's no surprise to me that Draymond Green would act like that. He played under Steve Kerr at Golden State. Steve Kerr, the most virtue signaling coach out there, that comes out and talks about everything.
Now take that and apply it to a state or apply it to a country. That's what you had with Barack Obama. Barack Obama, Steve Kerr, and black Americans felt justified. They go, well, now we're done with it. We're done with being respectful. But were you being that? Were you being that? I don't think you actually were. So Steve Kerr goes, well, obviously, the racial justice, it needs to be, the scales need to be balanced. And then people go like, yeah. So I'm going to run up on a referee and claim victim. Here's the other thing. You know what? We could make it a contact sport. Yeah, go try and do that with some Eastern Europeans who are allowed to check you. And if they decide to have a go, the ref will keep the whistle in his pocket until you deservedly get your ass kicked. I'm sorry, the further away you get from contact sports where there's real accountability, the douchier athletes become.
Yes.
NBA, soccer, and I would say to a lesser degree, but baseball, where like they can't let two guys hash it out. They all have to rush the mound.
No. The guy throws a 99 at your face.
Yeah, you
can
get to
literally
rush him
kill
out.
you.
Now all he has to do,
a little different.
Josh, what does the pitcher have to do?
Then just have a rule. Hey, if he throws 99 at your face, let him fight. You'd have a lot less 99 at the face.
All the pitcher's got to do is be like, hey, sorry, tip your hat, do something like that, and you're mostly fine.
It's the same thing in combat sports too, by the way. You go boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo. Those people, you'll always get outliers, but as a general rule, it kind of it reshapes your ego. You can't go in and have a false sense of confidence and get your ass actually kicked in a way that is observable objectively and still be a dick and talk a big game. But you go to Kung Fu, you go to karate with kata, and people are like, man, you don't even know. I got Tiger Claw, I got Eagle Fist with the Freddy Krueger talent and shit.
Listen to this. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, someone goes, well, let's not listen to it. Let's fight. All right, ready? Shake. Bump. Oh, wait. You get really respectful really quickly. Anyway, that's it. What was the general? I haven't really followed up on this. The general tenor as far as were people defending him, or do most people think he's a douche?
I mean,
Is it split? Do we know?
This could actually kind of tie in.
Sure,
they
go for
just sent partisan registration of athletes by sports league, and you can see the NBA Definitely predominantly blue. Just shy of the WNBA.
Yeah, the WNBA
The
is mostly
MLB.
lesbian, so.
Yeah.
The MLB, the most right-leaning sport, also the heaviest Latino sport.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And heaviest foreigner sport, by the way.
And then hockey would probably be a close second. And hockey's more of a mix because in MLB,
That's a big foreigner one. You're right.
but it's a mix.
Yeah.
You have people. You have a lot of people from Sweden. You have people from Russia. You have people from Canada, Finland. So you have people from France. I would imagine in Major League Baseball they're mostly Hispanic.
I vote. I mean, I forget the hockey. I forget about hockey because it's not like my thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a smaller sport, but yeah, you're right. It very international. But yeah, it's a lot of Latino, a lot of Japanese, Korean. I mean, the World Baseball Classic is happening this year. I mean, Italy has a team, for crying out loud. I don't know how they call it baseball, but
Yeah. I bet you'd be shocked if you got the voter registration for mixed martial arts. Shocked as to how right-leaning it is.
I wouldn't be. I think most people would not be shocked.
But I mean, like, it would almost be a monolith.
Yeah.
You'd have very, very few.
Yeah, the Democrats in the NHL. NHL's the lowest blue. They
Lowest
just have
blue.
a higher independent than they do Republican.
Oh, lowest blue.
Right.
Okay.
Not higher than, sorry. Yeah, it's slightly higher. Yeah.
But
Which is funny.
5.6%,
It's really
that's it.
funny considering a lot of these players are coming from Canada and from Europe.
Yeah.
And they identify that lowly as
that's why more of them would probably identify as independent, where I don't think they would be like woke leftists. It's pretty hard to be in a sport like that. That's very, and here's a big difference too with hockey. I don't know enough about baseball. Hockey is very much the mindset of you will bleed for your team. Like you have star play.
that's why you have the bench clearing.
Yeah.
It's
in baseball.
You hit our bet. Like that's what happens. They get pissed off about something. Then the coach tells the pitcher, or the pitcher does it by themselves. They throw the pitch at their best player, and then everyone's like, "Hey, that's our $200 million player. You just threw a pitch at his face.
Right.
F you, dude. We're bringing the whole bullpens, and we're all going to run next to each other until we get to the fight."
Right. Yeah.
They don't go after each other in the outfield. That's right.
Hockey is very different, though. I will admit that. It is
you know what you
very
also
different.
don't see? You also don't see even outside of the. I'm sure again you'll see some exceptions, but as a general rule, think of the NBA. Right? It's all hot dog, and it's me, narcissism. And in hockey, you don't see many people rolling up with an entourage and pimped out shit and a bunch of gold and a bunch of. You know why? Because they understand. Wait a second, I'm able to do this because there are some workers, there are some jobbers on this team who will never have eyebrows again, who have had to have their teeth replaced season after season because they're protecting me, and I don't want to spit in their face by showing the spoils of their labor, and so they really look out for their teammates in a way that you don't see. I mean, Noodles, you're a big hockey fan. I don't know if it's still that way, but
I was just going to say, arguably the best player in the league right now, Connor McDavid, has a number 2, Leon Draisaitl, who without him, I would question whether he would be the number 1 in the league.
and he probably would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Gerald knows this. That football's the same way too with offensive lines. Those guys,
Quarterbacks treat them well. Yeah.
It's like the dream is that your offensive line is muddy and dirty, and your quarterback has a clean white jersey. And it's like,
And you don't see many of the super cocky quarterbacks in the same like you see people like what Terrell Owens or stuff like that.
Yeah,
because-
wide receivers and DBs typically are the most opinionated of all.
Because
Yeah.
quarterbacks have to make sure that their team likes them and respects them because they're blocking the hits coming through.
Yeah,
they'll buy them gifts. This is a really funny one. Tom Brady one year bought his offensive line. He gifted them with, I think, Range Rovers or Land Rovers, something like that. It was a vehicle. It was a very nice vehicle.
Yeah.
But it was on a 1-year lease.
Oh my God.
So he was like, "Hey, good job this year, boys, but
Yeah, let's.
better keep it up next year if you want to keep that lease going."
And he's just walking through the dressing room the next year. He's like, "Oh, the lease extension.
Oh, man,
Jeez,
not on
guys.
this one.
Ooh, price is going up a little bit."
Wow, 17 sacks.
I still have that.
No.
Yikes.
I still have that creak in my shoulder. Oh no! How does a
Completion percentage is
RAV4
under
sound?
60%.
No.
CRVs? Huh? All right, better heal my
How
shoulder.
about a weekend rental? Yeah. See you on Sunday if you get to keep it.
Get a Hertz gift card.
All right. I think the NBA is where racism still tries to live.
And the NFL.
It's mostly black. The NFL, not as much. It does to some degree, but really not as much. You've looked at the charts there. The NFL is much more conservative than you would think, right? So
It's
there's
still only 10%.
No, it's not 10%. It's
Sorry, I'm looking at the WNBA as at the top.
44%. There is a higher left leaning there. So like I said, it's still there, but they try to make it in the NBA like racism is a thing. WNBA is just ridiculous. I don't think it counts. Nobody really watches that anyway. So
Well, what's funny is conservatives, right wingers, we obviously believe in freedom. We believe in limited government. but you see more people who are willing to sacrifice for a unit. That's why they're more family oriented. That's why if you look in the military, you see a lot of people who tend to lean more right. Not all the time. And that's one thing that they underestimated in World War II, the Japanese. You know, the Japanese, they had that whole kind of Bushido code that they really drilled into people that, hey, your life isn't worth as much as the honor of the nation, right? You have to be willing to sacrifice your life for the nation. And they actually told their troops, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, they told the Japanese military in World War II, they said, look, if you just separate them, like the Americans, this is this decadent, liberal, these libertines they're not going to die for their brother in arms, okay? Because they're all about individualism. What they didn't take into account was, yes, these Americans believed in freedom, and because they wanted to preserve freedom, that was a cause for which they were willing to die to a degree that the Japanese had underestimated, really to their detriment, that could have turned the war. If you read the writings of the Japanese observing the Marines when they came in, they actually thought they might be like mentally insane.
Yeah.
Because like,
they were mostly right.
Yeah, they were partially right.
In a good way.
They were like, no one would logically be willing to risk these casualties, and no men would be willing to do it, and they would just charge right in, and they had been telling their guys.
This changes when you bomb our harbor.
Yeah, it pulls us together quite a bit.
It really, it really does something to you.
Yeah.
When you know that, and when you know that they're locking their cockpits with explosive devices so they can't get out, and their whole mission is to just kill Americans. Mentality changes quite a bit.
And go back to the NFL. I bet I'm almost willing to bet everything that I have on this. If you look at the offensive line, the tight ends, the quarterbacks, probably even the fullbacks, and a larger degree of running backs than you might think, you'd probably find mostly conservatives. Maybe even the linebacker core. But when you get out on the edges where wide receivers are going one-on-one against DBs, that's where you get like these people that are just the most flashy, and I would bet the most liberal of people on the field too. But the guys in the trenches that are depending on one another, they don't have time for that.
Right.
Like I think they get it. I would bet at least.
It's like a mentality,
Team mentality,
It's a lifestyle that because they've been doing this since high school, college, professional. It's like a lifestyle for them is to.
I just find it interesting when you think about it. Like you think about the left, and you think about it. Let's just kind of use an example. You think about a liberal or a leftist male, or like an actual socialist male, versus a conservative male, a right-leaning male. Okay. So obviously, we believe in limited government, and you'd be hard-pressed to make the case that it's not the conservative who would vote for more freedom. People are trying to say abortion, okay, whatever. But the point is, people waving the flag, people who believe freedom isn't free, people who support freedom, the United States, right? Those people are on the right. And the people on the left, those who support centralized power, right? Those who support centralized government, we should all be in this together. So logically, if you were to look at that on paper, you'd go, okay, well, this person who believes in collectivism, right, they're going to be the person who sacrifices a lot because they say it's for the greater good, and this conservative is going to be pretty selfish. And then if you look at all the numbers, the polling data that we have, and we have a lot of it, you go, oh, the socialist male is far more likely to be in college, not working, not have a family, single, no kids, the kind of person you see out there protesting in the streets. The conservative male who is pro-freedom, he will eliminate his own freedom by agreeing to be with one woman for the rest of his life, working 9 to 5 really hard, serving his family, his children, so that they can have freedom of choice. The conservative man almost invariably ends up making more sacrifices out of a sense of duty for the collective good of his family than the libertine socialist male who believes that we all should be on board. If you look at how they live, those on the right, men, what we actually believe men to be, they sacrifice a lot as it relates to personal freedom for the greater good. Why don't the socialists?
I think it was Matt or Tim was telling me this a couple weeks ago about how they care more about things that are further away. Liberals, like socialists, will care things
because there's no accountability
further away from them, from their personal lives, where a conservative person cares.
Like the space rocks.
Totally right.
Chart.
The space rocks chart. I don't know the space rocks.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Where it shows like they care about like poverty, hunger, that kind of stuff.
Like the inner circle is like your immediate family, your close acquaintances, friends, and then it kind of goes outward from that. Like anybody in existence, any living thing in existence, and they found that liberals chose things further away more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I don't know if that's accurate, but no, whatever.
No.
It's a space rock.
Nice job. Talking about a completely different subject. Actually, they found a chart on what I said.
Oh.
And it turns out that I'm correct.
What?
So As far as the positions, the only one I would have, I guessed, I said maybe even linebackers. No, linebackers seem to be less liberal, more independent. But as you go up,
punter, I forgot about them. But
kicker, tight end, quarterback, offensive lineman. But then when you get to wide receiver, look how the Republican line, the red one, goes down almost over a half. Goes down. It's like, oh yeah, that very much shifts.
Where's defensive back?
They're also defensive back.
Oh, there it is.
The least amount of Republicans are defensive backs. And I'm surprised wide receiver is as conservative as it is, but DBs does not surprise me.
Is that one little piece of red on defensive back? Is that Cooper DeJean?
It probably that one white guy.
Lane pointed out there's 0 Democrat punters.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
No Dem punters.
I also saw pretty interesting. I don't know where I was reading it. I have to look it up, but it makes sense, and I can't verify this. It was studying kind of a long-term trend that as women have had less children, they've become more liberal.
Yeah.
Social, and a big reason for that is because, men are designed, if you're a God-fearing person, or if you also understand basic evolutionary biology, men are hardwired to lay their life down for their family, to protect, to provide. That's what we are hardwired to do. Everything else is kind of, hey, win some, lose some. That depends on the guy's personality. In general, that's what men are hardwired to do. In general, what women are hardwired to do is to bring in, to nurture. Women innately see vulnerable children, vulnerable children. It's my job to tend to them. And when you take away the vulnerable who need their assistance, they look for another vulnerable group to sort of take under their wings, and that becomes illegal aliens, that becomes criminals, that becomes LGBT, that becomes whatever marginalized class of the day. Because if that woman is now, let's say a woman has kids, okay, her job is to nurture and take care, the roost, all right? Oh, wait a second. Men are coming in to beat up my daughters in their sports? No, this is what she is there to protect. But if you take that away, it's, wait a second, people aren't allowing you to compete where that sounds mean, come in here, and then they're protecting them from the men who, ironically, are willing to lay down their lives for their families and their friends. And I think there is something to that, because I've said, the term suicidal empathy that is used, this really does all go, when people say, oh, the parties have changed, I think the left has gone far left and the right has gone more left significantly throughout recent history. Now there's a little bit of a course correction. I think it all changed in the 60s with women's liberation. Yeah. That's that was when the dynamic shifted to, it's not about logic, it's not about accountability. You can be sexually liberated and you shouldn't be accountable for those sexual decisions. Well, women can do everything a man can do, and we have to ensure and enforce those outcomes. That's when everything changed to identity. It's pre-racial identity politics, but it was the era of the woman, and you see politics centering around that now. And it was this third rail for a long time where you see so many people going like, oh, I'm a conservative, but I'm a feminist. And now people are going, yeah, maybe not. Maybe we're not.
And the prescription's pretty easy. Women, just stop being whores. Start prioritizing motherhood, and start listening to your husbands. I'm just saying, the prescription is not hard. Yep. And that's a very biblical prescription as well. If you don't like the word whore, I'm sorry. The whore of Babylon is something in the Bible as well. So get over it. And I mean, listen, and men too, really does. No,
stop being whores. And you know what? Don't be shy to issue the commands in your household and lead. Not like, I don't know what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
It's faithful leader.
Be a faithful leader.
Be a servant leader like Christ was for the church. That doesn't mean, do whatever you want. Happy wife, happy life. That's bullcrap stuff. That does not work out. And it just, women want that. I'm just saying, I don't go nearly so far as some of the red pill guys go, because obviously I think they get it wrong in the prescription. They get it right in the diagnosis. Like there is a problem, but then they go, but sleep around with 50 women. Well, that's stupid advice.
Well, that's a subcategory.
It is a subcategory of the far fringes of red pill, but that's the Andrew Tates and the Myron Gaines of the world. So it's not quite a subcategory. You know what I mean? Like it's prominent enough. So don't do that. But there are some things that we need to correct in this society, and it'll make society better, make women happier. And guess what? You'll protect and nurture, and stop voting Democrat.
Fat vagina is exactly what I would say if I wasn't here on YouTube. So go and subscribe on Rumble. Same channel where free speech is actually alive and well. Or you can stay here and the